So we're here at Pigeon Forge High School, and they're using this as a staging area. As you got Wares Valley Road to the left here. And I'm noticing departments from all over, some cities I've never even heard of. The number I heard yesterday was 71 different departments have sent mutual aid here to the Smokies. So this is being utilized as a staging area. I've seen many units going out this morning. So I did want to give you a little perspective as to where it is located. So I'm going to turn here on Pine Mountain Road. This is light number 6 in Pigeon Forge. I'm going to go to Valley View Baptist Church, which is about 15 minutes from this location, which I'm passing the Shoney's here on the right. All right, so I'm right here at the Valley View Baptist Church here in Wares Valley. And this section over here is an area we've been watching on the last couple of videos. So there's an area of concern up to the left. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. So that is where they're currently working. That's the main hotspot area of concern that they're trying to get as much control of right now today as possible. And I'll show you here, this is the mountain area we've been watching over the last couple of videos. But you can see to the far left, all that is left is just the chimney, sadly. Well, we're here with the Weather Channel guys. Are gonna go up, and I'm gonna go tag along with them and see if we can get a closer look on what's going on up there. Well, we just had the Blount County Sheriff Mobile Operations Center just arrive here to the Valley View Baptist Church. So he's putting down all his little supports to get the vehicle stabilized and getting another mobile command center up and running. So we definitely appreciate all the mutual aid we've been getting from all over. All right, again, I just want to show you, this is the mountain we were looking at the other night. It was on fire. You can see it's pretty charred at the moment. But I'll put down the bottom of the screen what it looked like the other night, what we're looking at right now. As we come up here, we're gonna work our way up closer to activity that's going on. So it's definitely pretty smoky here as we're working our way. You can see lots of burns going all the way down to the road. So we're gonna keep moving our way down here. We're following these guys with the Weather Channel. These guys look like they're actively working on something on the side of the road here. Yeah, they see some hot spots they're trying to hit with their trucks. So Dixon Fire, thank you guys. They're hitting stuff along the side of the road. Really appreciate seeing these guys here. So right past the Maple Ridge Vacation Rentals is the area we're going back into today on this video. Taking a left here on Little Valley Road. Looks like the piece of white thing, whatever, that somebody hit in the car yesterday. I don't know if you saw that on yesterday's video. Seems to be out of the road. We're gonna head back up to this area and check out what's going on up here. So we're turning onto Lightfoot Way. We're gonna go in a little different area this time. Last time we went down that road. This time we're going here. This is the Little Valley Mountain Resort, where they've been combating fire up ahead. We're gonna go see what's going on. So they're actually working on a power pole up here, so we're not gonna go any closer at the moment. Just stay back and stay safe, but you can see how close it got to this cabin. I mean, the fire is right at the base. You can actually see, looks like some PVC piping that's just melted. That's what that white stuff is right in the back there. So we're gonna head back down, let these guys get some work done up here. You can see how close the fire got here to this cabin. One thing I wanted to point out, as you can see the pole here, fire came right up to it. So, still standing, but that would be one they definitely would want to replace and get addressed. So you can see the fire was coming right up here, right next to this cabin. Let me show you some efforts of the firefighters who, as it came close to this tree, caught this fencing on fire that leads right up to the structure. So they were able to catch it on fire, remove it, get it off, keep it from continuing on, and saving this structure. So kudos to those guys.
So we're here on a cabin in the footprint of the Indigo Lane fire, and this is some firewood that has been thrown, I imagine, off the porch. They've got a little firewood holder. Generally, you know, fire crews, if they can, and they see fuel loading like firewood on a porch, they'll toss it off into the yard or off away from the home, so it is not a susceptible fuel for embers to land in to start a whole bunch of heat right up against the house. And you can see this caught as it was sitting here, and the heat burnt this fence right here. And I'd say water was laid on this because it should have just continued on to the house. And you can see some of the damages. You know, the radiant heat impacted this vegetation right here. And it did not kill it, but it damaged it. And those are evergreens. They have a waxy cuticle, which makes them very flashy fuels. So once they reach that ignition temperature, they burn hot and they burn fast. You generally do not want to have evergreens up against your home.
Have you ever been to a structure with a charging port like this?
No, this is the first one I've seen up on the mountains here in Sevier County.
You can see the cable is pretty melted here on this charge point.
And usually if fire gets into these boards like this, I mean, they're pretty cured, so I'm surprised either somebody put water on it or this fire was going right as some rain came through and cooled it all off, and it just kind of died out.
Well, thankfully the structure's still here.
Oh yeah, no, this structure was definitely at risk. And you can see the fire came around just behind the structure. So it was very involved with the fire at some point.
Just want to give you a little perspective again on the fire, how it just rolled right up in here. I mean, just right next to these cabins. You see how close it got, coming right up the mountain, right next to this cabin. I'll give you a little behind the scenes of the Weather Channel guys over here shooting.
Yeah, the narrow, windy roads, sometimes they're not marked well, can be confusing for locals, let alone the visitors coming into the area to visit.
Just give you another look around here. You can see how close the fire got to this propane tank. I mean, it was right up real close to that propane tank. Give you a little bit of look. You can see some of the trees right next to this cabin. These are charred pretty good. So one other little FYI I wanted to give you, if you ever have a cabin, the forestry guy was just telling me this would be a big no-no. You wouldn't want to keep it right here. It's just giving another additional fuel load to the house. So that would be something you would not want to stack up, get wood close to the home, as the fire was right over here. So you can easily, an ember could jump over, catch this pile, and then the entire house is up. All right, we've got some crews working along the side of the road here. We got one from Lenore City, engine 22. These guys are doing some mop-up work, just finding any hot spots, any burning embers, anything that needs to be extinguished. These guys are out here working hard, moving through all the brush areas, trying to get out anything they can. We just passed Loudoun County. We got an Alcoa Squad 2 over here. So as they're working their way through this community, they're doing what's called mop up, where they're basically working along looking for any hot spots, anything that's burning, any embers, to make sure that it doesn't kick back on. You can see these guys over here are working along the side of the road and trying to get every bit of the fire out as we work along here. So as these guys work up, I'm walking up, and that's kind of odd. Roll of toilet paper. Huh. These guys are working on a fire over here on Wares Valley Road. Seems like it's picked up a little bit. Engines here. It looks like one from Cleveland. And I can't catch what that one's from, but as we pass by the Friendly Falls here in Wares Valley. Drove by here earlier this morning and it was not as smoky as it is, so they're still trying to get it contained, get some of these spot fires put out. Was City of Dixon we just passed, one of their vehicles. So we're just getting So much help from all over. Murph, I can't pronounce that one. I've always struggled with that name. I've seen it before, but I'm not even gonna attempt it. Disconnected the bucket. So I'm here with Miss Sharon, who has property right behind me. We're keeping an eye on this area over here called the Preserve off Happy Hollow Road is what we're checking out. But she was telling me a little bit about Hatcher Mountain here. So Miss Sharon, is this where you think the fire started initially?
Yes, I came down here at 10:30 that morning. I had got a notice on my cell phone that there was a fire on Hatcher Mountain, and I knew it was right behind our shop, and I came down here at 10:30, and behind that house right there, it was just a billow of smoke.
So right center of what we're looking at, right behind this house, is where you first saw the smoke?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and there was no smoke at all to the left of that, but from directly behind that house to your right, it just began to get worse and worse and worse.
All right, tell me about the fire trucks. You're saying this is where the fire trucks that they lost are up top there?
The fire trucks were at the very top. You could see right on the very top of the ridge, nothing left but standing but a chimney. And that was Von Bryan Inn. And it's been there probably for 25 years. And the fire trucks had gone up there, or so I was told by a fireman. The fire trucks had gone up there to try to save the inn. And they were up there, and a tractor trailer came up with a dozer on the back of it, and it jackknifed on the road right before it got to the inn. Then the fire started coming up the mountain, and they were trapped. They had to get behind a rock wall and stay behind the rock wall until somebody could come up there and rescue them.
Well, thanks for sharing. I'm glad your property's still here behind us.
Yes, we've been blessed. We're doing good. And to my understanding, the truck that was lost was one from Walden's Creek. I can't be certain about that, but that's what I was told, and that the pictures show that all the vehicles are still up there.
So we're keeping an eye on this. We're waiting for the helicopter to come back by. It dropped off its water bag, I guess you'd say, or bucket. And the guys are down here waiting for it to return. Our assumption is it was going to get some fuel, so the guys are waiting here by the pond. So we'll see if the helicopter comes back here in a little bit. All right, so it's after 6 p.m. local time here. This is the third day that they've been combating this fire. Great news though, just did confirm we're at 85% containment of the fire. So very good news for Wears Valley. I also just did hear that they reduced down the 3,700 acres down to 2,700 is what I was just told. So again, positive news coming out of Wears Valley. I appreciate you guys coming along with me and watching. If there's any questions you have of the footage, feel free to drop a comment. I'll do my best to answer. Again, otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe. I'll continue to drop any other future updates of things going on here in the Great Smoky Mountains. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.